A backlog out at sea. Over 60 container ships carrying millions of consumer goods wait to unload at the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach, California. The ships extend 64 kilometers out to sea, but there's a shortage of workers at the docks and not enough truck drivers to deliver the goods to stores.
While the consumer may be willing to go and spend more money, right now the issue that's rising is there actually a product out there for them to go purchase? It is more difficult to get what you want.
Even everyday products are in short supply. Across the U.S., Costco has limited how much toilet paper, bottled water, and cleaning supplies you can buy because of the port delays. Retail Canada says stores are reporting the situation seems to be getting worse as the year goes on, resulting in much higher prices for consumers. Skyrocketing shipping costs are adding to the problem. Big retailers are now chartering their own much more expensive cargo ships, but that's not an option for others.
Kelly, the shortages you mentioned are everywhere. Here at this family-owned grocery store in Sunnyvale, California, they expected about a 5 or 6 pallet shipment today as they would normally. Instead, they got nothing, they said, from their supplier. And you're hearing that story all across the nation.
Last month, Costco announced it was reinstating limits on how much toilet paper you can buy. Chip shortages are bedeviling companies that make everything from computers to cars to cooktops.
The after effects of heightened COVID-19 restrictions in Shenzhen and Shanghai are likely to be felt in their ports for weeks, if not months, to come. Shenzhen is experiencing the largest queue of vessels since Typhoon Kampeisu in October 2021, and the number of vessels queuing at Shanghai is steadily increasing. Ports further afield are also likely to be affected as shipping companies alter schedules to avoid the two ports. After attempting to control case numbers through localized lockdowns and movement restrictions, authorities in Shanghai enacted the largest lockdown in the city since the pandemic began. Officials have ordered factories to close and suspended public transport. There will likely be significant implications due to the global importance of the city's port network and its manufacturing and financial industries. Restrictions aimed at containing COVID-19 have impacted manufacturing and shipping operations globally, exacerbating the supply chain crisis. There have been renewed concerns that the highly infectious Omicron variant could also deal another blow to the shipping industry. The invasion of Ukraine by Russia and sanctions imposed on it for doing so and new pandemic-related shutdowns in China are the latest events to rock global supply chains. Combined with the China-US trade war and other pandemic and climate-related disruptions, it is certain to accelerate the movement by Western companies to reduce their dependency on China for components and finished goods and on Russia for transportation and raw materials, and to lead to more localized, or regional, sourcing strategies. If China decides to back Russia in the Ukraine conflict, it would only fuel that movement. With oil and gas prices soaring due to the war, transportation costs will follow suit. What is less obvious but equally important is that the war imposed constraints on the ability to use Russian transportation infrastructure to support manufacturing in Asia. Equally important, Ukraine supplies about 50% of the world's neon gas, which is used to produce semiconductor chips. Governments and large corporations are now scrambling to obtain alternative supplies, but the supply is tightening and prices have dramatically increased. Russia and Ukraine are also big exporters of grains such as corn, barley, and wheat as well as fertilizer. While the war's full impact on global food supplies is not yet clear, prices are already skyrocketing. Finally, the Ukraine war's surprisingly large impact on European car manufacturing has highlighted the risk associated with the current global supply chain. For example, Volkswagen and BMW have been closing assembly lines in Germany due to the shortage of wiring harnesses manufactured in Ukraine by the German company Leoni. And tire manufacturer Michelin has recently announced it could close some plants in Europe due to logistics issue created by Russia's invasion of Ukraine. There is no doubt that the European car companies will take a hard look at the risks associated with international suppliers and consider buying more locally, even if this requires additional price increases. This could provide an opportunity for Europe to strengthen its internal manufacturing sector. All of these ingredients make only what is refused to as the perfect storm. Remember, the only ways to combat any of these world of event effectively is to stay informed with the right information and to remain prepared. Thank you for watching today's video, more to come in the future.